Hi guys, it's Inspirational Nails, and I'm coming to show you my new mani that I have for Halloween. It is my adorable little trick-or-treaters. You see them? They're so cute. They are walking to go trick-or-treating, and they're going to knock on this lady's house, and as you can see, she has some fangs because she is a vampire. She's ready. She's waiting for her little trick-or-treaters to come. But these are so cute. I absolutely love the plates that I used to do this mani, and these are the plates. These are from Bundle Monster. This is their Halloween / kind of fall plates. It's I got this set. This is the set of 10. You have 5 Halloween ones, and then you have 5 that are more for the fall. Let me show you these 5 Halloween plates. I'm trying to see to show you them in order by number. Okay, so this one is plate number 201. And as you see, it has a lot of fun little sayings on there. I mean, this is a really great plate. I love the faces on here. Look, you have some zombie brains. You have Frankenstein. I mean, you just have so many great images. I love the detail that they put on these plates. Really, really very well done. This is plate number 202. And these are called Scary Cute, which are absolutely adorable. It has these really cute little images. I love the little cupcake, little scary cupcake. This little cute chocolate bar right here. The candy corn. I just love it. Just such an adorable plate. This is number 203. This was the other one I used on my nails. This is where you have the house scene. You have the little trick-or-treaters, little that they saying trick-or-treat. The little witch is saying trick-or-treat. You have like the zombie hand coming out. I love these plates. This one is plate number 204, and these are like pumpkin faces. And what I like about these, they're really a great size for your nails. So if you paint your nails like orange and you want to do something just really simple and put pumpkin faces, these are some great faces to put on. Okay, and this is plate number 205. This was the second plate that I used. This is more of like outside. You have the spider web, you have some bats, you have ghosts. You have, what's really cute about this plate that's a little bit different, something that I have not seen, is right here. You have all these like insects and stuff. I think that is really cool. So really adorable plate. So these are the Halloween plates. Okay, now these other 5 are the more fall plates, and let me just kind of get them in order. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so it starts with 207. So this is, or 206, where's 206? Okay, so this is plate number 206. And you see it has like leaves, and you have the little swirl with his little acorn. I love it. This is plate number 207. This is probably one of my favorite plates. This one has just some really great fun fall sayings. And it just has some really cute little things that I really like. Like, look at the little, what do you call him? The scarecrow. You just have these little great sayings. I love the little donut. And if you really look, the little donut that's on the bag has a little smiley face on it. I love that. Just really cute. I love it. I love this little pumpkin latte down here. I don't know, just really neat. This is plate number 208. And this one has just like the wagon with the vegetables. You know, you have like the corn and the apples and the big pumpkin. You have these sunflowers, and one of my favorite things on this plate is the snail. Look at him. He's just adorable. Love that he's on top of the flower. Super cute. This is plate number 209, and 209 just has a lot of different things like the inside of the apple. You have the acorns. the donuts. This is the only thing I'm not sure what they are, to be honest. I don't know. You have the honeycomb, really cute. Okay, and then the last plate in this collection is this plate number 210, and this one you have like hay, you have all these vegetables. One of my favorites on this plate is the turkey. So here's the turkey, here's the turkey cooked, here's the turkey, here's the turkey cooked. And I thought that was funny. And the carrots and the little the peas, they're just so cute. I love it. So on with the nails. Okay, so let me just kind of move in a little bit there. So the colors that I used in order to do, as you could see, I did do a gradient on the base. So I used 3 different colors to do the gradients. I used this amazing yellow from Color Club, and this one's called Almost Famous. Then I used this extremely bright orange, which is probably the most amazing orange, like neon orange I've ever used. I love it. It's called Wham Pow. Okay, and then the white that I used is Snowy White. Okay, so those were the 3 colors I used in order to do the gradients. And then of course on top, I'm not sure if you can see, but I did stamp like a background, which was just the trees that I used from plate number 205, which are these trees right here. And I really wanted to be subtle, that's why I used white. But of course, if you're going more of a maybe more spooky, maybe you want to do like, I was going to do a gray, more of a stamp it with white and maybe gray on top, or you can even stamp black on top of it, just to give more of that eerie type of feeling. But I just kept it white and I was fine with that. So that is really what I use from the plate, and I use the bats from this plate as well. Okay, and then from the other plate is where I pulled the trick-or-treaters. You see them down here, how cute. And then the window here with the little vampire. Love her. And that's pretty much what I use. You have all of these other things that you can pull from the plate. Oh, I love this plate. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I did one of these nails on a pop stick. Now, you're going to need a makeup sponge, and I will tell you, if I'm to give you any little tip, is to wet the makeup sponge. That's right, wet it. Not a lot, but enough to have some type of moisture onto the makeup sponge. Believe it or not, it makes it much easier to stamp, to sponge onto the nail. I find it just works so much better. Now, when I did my nails with the gradient, I did not put a white base. Normally I do, so that the colors pop out, they're more vibrant. But with these colors, they're so bright, I didn't need to put a white base. Now for the pop stick, I'm going to try it without putting a white base on there. Hopefully I get good enough, the same effect on there. So what I'm just going to open the bottles and we'll start. Okay, so now that I've wet my stamper and I've also opened my bottles, and as you see, I'm going to use the same one that I've used because it hasn't gotten really hard yet. I'm going to use the same place that I use the colors. Once your makeup sponge gets really, really hard, you really want to use a different area or get a new one because it just doesn't work as good. I'm going to follow the same color pattern here. And I'm just going to go in with the 3 colors. And I did this about 3 times until I got the look that I was looking for. Again, you just keep on going until you get the look that you're looking for. Okay, so that's the first. And now I'm just going to go in with my second coat here. Okay. And if you want it to be more blending, you can go ahead and blend the colors more. I kind of just wanted to keep them a little bit more separate. Again, it's all on your choice on how you want it to look. Okay. Okay. And actually, that's the second coat, and I actually like that just the way it is right there. So I'm just going to keep it like that. And as you see how the colors are really bright, and I did not put a white base. Again, a good trick, I mean, of course, these are really opaque, so they work really well even when it comes to sponging. But again, a nice trick is to wet the sponge. You don't want to overly, you don't want it too wet. You want it just enough that you're able to glide your polish on very well, easily, and you're able to sponge it on without having to struggle. It really depends on the look that you're looking for, to see how well you want it to blend, how you want it to look. You just got to play with it and to see what you get. What you're looking for. So now I will give this probably about a minute or so to dry before I go ahead and start stamping on it. Okay, so now that I've given it a chance to dry, and when you're sponging, it really doesn't take that long to dry because it's sponging. It's not as when you're painting your nails. You need to give it a longer time unless you're using like sèche vide to give it enough time to dry. So when you're sponging, it really doesn't take that long. So you need probably about a minute or two, and then you can pretty much stamp on it. I've had no issues with waiting just a couple of minutes and then just start stamping. So the first thing that I'm going to stamp is these trees right here with the little fence, and that was kind of a subtle background on the nails. You can't see them that much. If of course you want it to be more that you can really see it, maybe stamp it where you don't want it too stark with using black. Maybe you can use like a gray and white combination, so it has that kind of eerie feel to it, but it's not too overpowering because you're going to stamp these little cute trick-or-treaters right on top. So I'm just going to use white. I kind of just went with white. It looked really good, and even though there is white on the nail, you could still see it. I mean, of course you won't see it that much on the camera, but in person you do see it. Depending on what white polish you use. I'm using this one here by Milani. It's actually a really good white. It's called white, and it's really stark, so it's very opaque. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm also using my Bundle Monster card here. Okay, now you're not going to be able to see the little trees and stuff because it's white on white. But I'm just going to go ahead and stamp what I want on the nail. Okay, and there it is. And again, it's very subtle. You can see a little bit of the trees. And down here you can see the little fence, but you probably won't be able to see it on camera too much. Okay, so really that's it when it comes to the trees. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp the bats, and I'm going to use my black. This black that I'm using is called Salon Express. And this one is a stamping polish. So I love these bats, they're so cute. Okay, and I'm gonna pick up these bats. There are all these bats there. So now I'm just gonna remove what I do not want, of course. Okay. And you'll position your bats kind of where you want them to be. I'm gonna go high up here. And there we go. Look how cool. Okay, so now once you get your bats, then pretty much you're done with this plate here, because I'm really not going to use anything else, at least for this nail. And I'm going to get the next plate. The next plate I'm going to use, I'm going to do the ghost for the trick-or-treater on this one. And I'm going to use black for the outlining. And I'm going to use the little ghost that's right here. I'm going to make sure I get, you know, his little boo. He says boo. Okay, and then I'm going to just swipe here. Pick him up. He didn't stamp that well. See his little eye there? So we're just going to do that again. Sorry. I'm just getting a cotton ball so I can clean up and start again. Okay, going to swipe. Okay, so there we go. And much better. You see how crisp everything looks. And now what I'm going to do is, one of the best things to use when you're trying to take off anything you don't want is just use a piece of tape. And now I'm just going to remove everything I don't want. It just makes it easier. Or sometimes I just use my fingernail and call it a day. So I'm just going to remove what I don't want. Okay. So now that I'm removed everything I wanted, that I just want to keep, as you see, look how adorable he is. It's the little ghost, and he has his little trick-or-treat bag with his little acorn on it, and the little boo sign, or him saying boo, better said. So now I'm just going to take my little palette here, so I can dip some polish into it, so I can color my little ghost. Okay, so we're gonna color the ghost, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use a dotting tool. There we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to open my white here from Sinful Colors and drop some white there. Okay, and now one of the things you can go ahead and do is you can go ahead and put a clear coat on top. That is what I would recommend to you. I'm being a rebel and I'm just going to paint right on top. But normally when you kind of, you know, you do that, especially if you have a big, you really want to put in, if you have a bigger image, you really want to put a top coat so that you don't mess up or pick up any of the base and it'll easily come off. But I'm living dangerously today, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint my little ghost here. Okay, and once I paint him, and you want to be, if you're using your dotting tool, you really want to be, you don't want to rub real hard, because again, as I said, you're going to pick up what's on the base, and that is something you don't want to do. Okay, and you want to put enough paint to cover, but you don't want to put too much paint. Okay. So there's his face. I think I put a little bit too much there. Okay. So now, the next I'm going to do the little boo. And that's kind of hard because it's really small space. So you want to use a really, whether you use maybe a toothpick, I'm just going to use the smaller side of the dotting tool and dot, 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 And I'm hoping that you get to see this. And then right down here, I'm just gonna do this part here again, just to make sure that I got it all. I think so. I think we're good. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a little bit of the orange, and I only need a tiny bit. Okay, and the yellow, and again, just a drop. Okay, so now I only need a tiny bit for the tip of the acorn, and that's really it. And then with the yellow, you're pretty much going to color in his little bag. His little trick-or-treat bag, because it's just so cute. Okay, so now that you got him all painted, I'm going to go in with a clear coat. This is from Sally Hansen, and this is the Extreme Wear. And I really like it. You want to just give a nice coat onto your image. And now you want to let it dry. With this, you want to make sure that you get it dry enough that that it doesn't smudge when you transfer it onto your nail, or if you're going to pull it off. You want to make sure that you are, give it enough time to dry, but not over dry, because a lot of times if you let it over dry, it can crack, and basically, or it dries so hard that when you try to lay it on your nails, it'll crack and stuff. So you don't want to give it too long to dry, but you want it to give it enough that is dry enough that you're able to either transfer it on your nails or take it off and then place it like a decal. I find that it depends on the base that you use, the top coat that you use on there. This is actually, let me see if this is a base coat or a top coat. I don't know, it actually doesn't, I don't think it says if it's a base coat or top coat. You may be able to use it for both top and base coat. It just says invisible, so I'm not sure about that. But this is the one I find that works pretty well. I've used Seche Vide. I use many other ones. It just depends. You want to test them out to make sure that you the kind of the drying time and how they work out. This one is still kind of wet there. You can tell by when you tap it, if especially if you're getting your fingerprints on it, or you pick up any polish, that you need to give it a little bit, maybe a couple more seconds or about a minute to dry, just so that you're safe than sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a minute to dry. Okay, so now that I've given it about a minute or so to dry, I'm going to go ahead and transfer it onto the nail. Again, you can pull it off with the tweezer and go ahead and lay it on top just like a decal, but I'm living dangerous and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it on my nail. Okay, so I am just rolling it on gently. And somewhere, well, that part wasn't dry 100%. He's a little distorted. I don't know what happened here. Right there. But it's all good. You can see him. That's the fun about doing it and you're not 100% sure what you're going to get. But I think he's still cute. So we're going to keep him. He's a keeper. So I'm going to go in with my clear. And voila, he's all done. Oh, he's cute. Okay, I'm just gonna lift him up there. And there's my little ghost. Look at this little trick-or-treat bag. I love the way the candy corn, the gradient came out. That came out really nice. So as you can see, there's my little ghost. Of course, he's a little bit skinnier here. You gotta make fun, you know? That's what it's all about, right? It's just really having fun, enjoying what you're doing. And I hope you enjoyed this. And happy Halloween, guys. And until next one, bye, guys.